In a world where everything feels scripted, we have Fight of Fury in 2020 that doesn't feel scripted whatsoever.
Holy
No,
shit,
not
Fight
at
of
all.
Fury was 2020. I guess I did know that at
Yeah.
first, but now it's really occurring to me that that was 2020. That really felt 90s. It's not what I would call a good film,
What would you call it?
but I would call it an entertaining film, though. I did enjoy watching it.
Yeah,
It's
I will
entertaining
say
but
that.
not good. That's fair. I mean, that's yeah.
Would you want to give the synopsis?
Sure thing.
Yeah, I think Randy should give the synopsis.
Well, I was rolling a joint, but I'll stop. Read the synopsis.
Work first, Randy.
I'm considering this work. I'm putting this on my taxes. All right. Fight of Fury 2020. When the master of martial arts, ex-Gorkha soldier, uncovers widespread sex trafficking network in his own backyard in Los Angeles with the help of runaway victims, he orchestrates a massive attack on the traffickers.
That's the entirety of the synopsis, huh?
No. Well,
Okay.
sort of. Because the tagline, which is normally like a tagline in a movie is normally just like they came for the wrong guy or whatever. The whole tagline of this movie is human trafficking is a worldwide epidemic. Helpless young girls and women are not only abducted for the purpose of prostitution in Asia, Europe, and Africa, but it also occurs where you live. That's marketing.
I mean,
Yeah, so there was a message here, a pro-social message. It's a socially conscious film, is what we saw.
yeah, they were trying to tell us that some shit was going on locally and internationally.
Well, I did understand from the film, and people have to be clear. I didn't watch this again. We watch things one time, sometimes on movie night, and we're not always in the most analytical state of mind when we're watching it. So my recollections of what we saw might not be entirely accurate, but they might be. And the feeling of this film was that it kind of meandered and went various different directions while, the core element there was that his daughter had been kidnapped, though he consistently seemed to forget about this throughout the entire movie. And I remember seeing scenes where he was sitting with people at restaurants, bullshitting and having a good time or whatever. And I remembered even commenting that the attitude seems to be, well, fuck it, she's wherever she's going to be, and I'll get her when I'm ready, kind of thing. And then he didn't even save her, right? I mean, I guess that's the big spoiler here. He didn't even save her, and at the end, he finally decides, like, all right, fuck this, I'm going to go get her. And then he makes some ridiculous Bruce Lee sounds. He's like, oh, and then he jumps in the air. It looks like he's trying to do a parody of Bruce Lee. At the beginning, it said it was an homage to Bruce Lee or something like that. There was some kind of bullshit in the title screen, wasn't there? This is dedicated to Bruce Lee or whatever in 2020. Never
And
forget.
His character name was also Brandon, which is Bruce Lee's son. So that's funny.
Clever.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but he did seem like he was satirizing like the whole Bruce Lee thing because he was doing the way over the top, like with his moves and he had good nunchuck moves. Like he was, really swinging the chucks, but the fight choreography was a little stiff and unconvincing.
Yeah, double nunchucks, and I will say, done well, not done poorly.
I don't know.
We've seen a couple like that.
I think y'all need to put a little bit of respect on this man's name because he really was wielding 2 sets of nunchucks. Like, I don't know if anybody can just do that.
If I may speak to the daughter issue, he knew that he had trained her in his ways, in the Gorkha ways, and nobody else that he was with, that he was like saving from the trafficking circle, had any of those. And to be fair, he would take them immediately back to his studio and roll around with them on the mat to train them.
That was the most uncomfortable part of the whole movie for me, is when he's with his love interest, or who ends up being his love interest earlier on in the film, and he's mock raping her again and again on the mat. And then they immediately transition to them kind of falling in love in the course of all this. And that it just seemed like such an inappropriate presentation of the blossoming love between the protagonist and that love interest.
Yeah.
That blossoming.